Welcome to the NWI.com Political Roundtable. We're coming at you on Wednesday today. Schedule-wise, we just worked out Wednesday. Today was the only day we could tape, and then Mark Kiesling, unfortunately, though, wasn't able to be here today. So he'll be hopefully back next week. But wanted to go ahead and there's some new developments to talk about. I'm Robert Blaszkiewicz, by the way, Assistant Managing Editor of the Times. Doug Ross, Editorial Page Editor of the Times. Let's start off talking about the news that Fran Dupey, longtime Lake County Commissioner, would not be seeking re-election.
Well, that's big news, I think, because this means that you're going to get a new face in there, and she's been in a while. She's been in Lake County politics for a long time.
Yeah.
I think she has some regrets that her husband encouraged her to run the last time. And I think she has some regrets that she wasn't able to spend more time with him in those last years rather than, working in office. And in fact, last time she ran, what was that, 3 years ago, I guess now, she said that, told me that she thought it was probably the last time she was going to run. So now this kind of confirms it. The thing is, a lot of people tell me that, and then they run in 4 years anyway,
Yeah.
so you never know.
Yeah. Well, the next question is who then do you think this vacancy opens things up for? Who might seek that?
I think it's going to be
commissioner seat?
wide open. I could see any number of people running for that. It's a job that has a lot of power to it because this is basically the mayor. You got to share the mayor's office with two other people. In essence, if you want to kind of put it on a city perspective, but the mayor of the whole county. And so, that's got a lot of clout. Now, there's a lot of things that they've got to deal with. There's a lot of jail issues going on. This is the opportunity to really bring the county. It's got a pretty robust website, but it would be a good opportunity to say, hey, we're going to put all the contracts online. We're going to do all of these things to improve accessibility
And transparency.
Exactly. That it could make a huge difference.
Yeah. Staying with developments in Lake County Commissioner politics, there's the whole controversy over the redistricting, which we talked about last week. And just to go over it, the deal that was struck that would basically create sets of boundaries that would be good for next year's election.
Exactly.
And then would change again in 2013.
And this really wouldn't affect, to any great extent, the district that Fran Dupey now represents. It would move marginally, but the political control that's a Democrat district.
Right.
It's almost 99.5% guarantee.
Right.
The thing that it really affects is the South County district that's now held by Jerry Shub, and for which Roy Dominguez is running, or has announced that he's running. I guess they
the
hadn't
former
filed
sheriff,
anything.
former Lake County sheriff.
Right, exactly.
And Democrat. Yeah.
And so, he's really concerned about this and has sent a letter to Dan Dumazich in his capacity as the Indiana Election Commission, as the chairman of that commission. Dan, of course, being a Cherville Republican. And the Indiana Election Commission serves as the Lake County Redistricting Commission because Lake County has to have that work outsourced, as it were.
Right.
And so Dan basically said to us, here's why I'm doing this, or here's why we made this decision, and that's so that we don't have to have the Democrats sue us for adopting the Republican plan and saying the heck with the Democrats. And so he saved, in his mind, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. Of course, we disagreed with him in the editorial, but Roy Dominguez is now challenging this, and so basically the ball's in Roy's court. Is he going to file suit now.
Right. I mean,
challenging
it still seems like a kind of thing that could face legal challenge, obviously, and then you wouldn't be saving those legal fees.
Right. And legally, does it stand up? In terms of is it right or wrong?
Right.
I think that's more clear cut than is it legally right or wrong.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Let's move on to state politics, and very interesting. We're talking about this on Wednesday. Very interesting developments coming out today regarding the missing $320 million. Something we've talked about also in the past. That was uncovered by the state. The money that had been corporate taxes that had been put away through e-filing and then put in a different account should have gone to the general fund, didn't. Finally, after about 5 years, I think, or so, of these funds accumulating, they discover, $320 million, this should be in the general fund. And the governor kind of had a lighthearted announcement about it being an early Christmas present. In the week or two since then, though, as we find out more and more about this, I don't think the governor can be too happy about the situation.
No, I mean, this is money that should have been there all along. I mean, the Senate Democrats are really upset about it.
During a time of drastic budget
so.
cuts,
Exactly.
cuts to education, cuts to other social programs,
Right.
Money that could have really staunched some of those cuts. And now the question is, the Democrats obviously want an independent audit of the
and they're not going to get
the
it.
agency. On a party line vote, the panel said no. The Republicans basically said no. We don't need an audit. And now what came out today was the fact that the state was warned 2 years ago that there might be a problem with its accounting.
Now, and that's from one source. That's not
Right.
from
Right.
So we have to qualify it as that. But if in fact that's true, that the state did have warning 2 years ago, and the Revenue Department decided to ignore that opinion, that's huge.
Right. And one way or another, whether it's an independent audit or some other kind of investigation, I think it's incumbent upon the state and the governor to insist that this be fully investigated, and we find out how this happened, find out where the ball was dropped, find out who was warned, there really needs to be a full accounting.
This is when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars, and this amount is a major portion of the state's budget. And so, when you're talking about an amount that large, you really need an accounting.
Sure.
And, I can't believe that Governor Daniels, who, of course, headed the OM, Office of Management and Budget.
For the Bush administration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can't believe that he would just let this go and say it was a minor error.
Right.
That's just not, I wouldn't expect that of him.
Right. Well, I'll expect to hear more about this. I'm sure the Democrats will seize upon this and use this
Oh boy!
going down the road.
They couldn't have had a better campaign slogan handed to them.
Maybe ended up being a Christmas present for them as well. Huh?
Could be.
Okay. Well, that'll do it for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week with another political roundtable.